The city of Edwardsville, Illinois wants to punish landlords who keep their properties vacant by charging them a vacant property fee. And now they want to increase that fee. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's coming out of Edwardsville, Illinois. So basically in Edwardsville, they have a program where they actually charge property owners who keep their properties vacant. Okay, so landlords are paying a fee to the city, I believe every 6 months. Right now it's every 6 months they have to pay $25, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? But the problem is that sometimes you have really good reasons to keep your property vacant, and they are basically punishing you for doing that. Let's say, for example, you have a rehab project that's going on and it's just taking you a longer time than you thought. Well, now you're paying this fee. And if you can't get a tenant in there immediately for whatever reason, maybe you're keeping it empty because it's a vacation home. Well, now they want to charge you for that. But it's one of those things where, hey, they keep trying to add more fees, more costs, more regulations, more rules onto landlords, and it's hard for us to keep up, especially the mom and pops. Okay, when you have a landlord who owns one property and maybe they only rent it out on as a vacation rental for a short time of the year, well, the rest of the year it's going to be vacant. So how are they supposed to know about all these new rules? I mean, it's not like they go around informing people. They expect us to just know at the drop of a hat whenever they pass a new ridiculous law or rule or regulation. Now, as a landlord, yeah, it is your responsibility to make sure that you keep up with the laws in the areas where you are investing, right? Where your properties are located. But and this is a big but, when they are constantly, and I mean constantly, changing the rules, constantly changing the way that the game is played, it is very difficult, especially if you're just doing this part-time like I am, working a full-time job. You don't know everything that's being passed and everything that's being considered, okay? So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below, and let me know, as a landlord, have they ever passed a law or a rule or regulation where you live or where you invest at that you didn't even know about until you were getting in trouble for it? I mean, I'm just curious if this has actually happened, because, how would we know? It's not like they sent a notice out. They just changed the law, and next thing you know, we're getting fined and we're getting treated like we're scumbags, okay? I mean, give me a break. But this is what happens all too often in this business. Anyway, this article is coming from theintelligencer.com, and it says, Edwardsville seeks to have landlords pay late registration fee. Add $75 fee for vacant structures. Yeah, and like I said, it isn't a huge cost, right? But, these little things, these little nickel and dime things, all these little rules and regulations, they add up. And what it does is it deters landlords from wanting to operate their business. And not only that, but it will cause rents to increase. Every little thing that they add on, every little extra fee, who do you think we're just coming out of pocket with this? No. Then they question, well, why are the rents so unaffordable? Why are rents so high? Well, you made me, pay this registration fee. You made me pay this inspection fee. You charged me sales tax on the rental income. You charged all this extra garbage, right? And then you wonder why my rents had to go up. On top of that, my property taxes increased. Give me a break, okay? Give me a break. Anyway, let's get into this article. Edwardsville alderpeople recently voted in favor of amending an ordinance to include a $75 late registration fee for vacant structures. The vote of 2-0 occurred following a discussion Thursday during the city's Administrative and Community Services Committee meeting. Alderman Elizabeth Grant was absent. Resident Karen Zimmerman, who owns property on North Main Street, objected to the notion during the public comment portion of the meeting. Maybe instead of punishing constituents, do an outreach program to find out why properties are vacant, she said. There are a lot of properties along North Main that are vacant, and there are really good reasons why they are vacant. Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that this Karen Zimmerman actually, put her comments and her perspective out there, okay? Because this doesn't just affect landlords. And that's what I say about a lot of these landlord regulations and rules, okay? They will affect all property owners. Okay, eventually they start hitting landlords first, but landlords are a limited number of people. They start doing these things, and then, hey, the people who own their own homes, they have to jump through the hoops too. If you own this house and you're the only one who lives there, but you spend 6 months a year out of town, and somewhere in a warmer climate, maybe you live out of the country or whatever, right? You have to pay this registration fee too. And if you don't pay it, well, they're going to hit you with the late fee. And then maybe they'll put a lien on your house. Who knows? This is a city government here. They like to screw people over, and just make it as hard as possible just for you to live your life without government interference. She feels residents are reluctant to invest in vacant properties. City planner Emily Calderon said there was no penalty included in the original ordinance. Currently, the city requires a $25 vacant property registration fee every 6 months. So I guess if you don't pay the registration fee, then there's no penalty. But if you pay it late, you got to pay $75. It doesn't really make any sense, right? But the only reason you would put this sort of policy into place would be to eventually roll out some sort of penalty, especially for the supposed bad players. Now, as I've mentioned time and time again, the grand majority of landlords are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They are keeping their properties in good shape, and they're maintaining them, and we want to keep tenants in our properties. We don't want our properties vacant most of the time, okay? If our properties are vacant, it's for a good reason. Like I said before, something like a large rehab project. In fact, speaking of that, here in Omaha, I had one of my properties that was vacant for the majority of last year because I was doing a rehab project on the inside of the house. But I would have had to pay, this vacant property fee and possibly been penalized by hundreds of dollars if I even knew about the law, But fortunately, we don't have something like that here. According to Alderman William Krause, the ordinance had its roots 8 years ago in a request from the police department to help monitor homes in the winter months when snowbirds or part-time residents who summer here then head south for the winter leave for the season. Krause said in his ward, the issue was derelict landlords. And see, this alderman got straight to the point. He's like, no, it has nothing to do with snowbirds going south. It's all about landlords. So immediately they're coming after us. But, it doesn't make much sense because they're like, okay, what is the point of the fee? Okay, what exactly does the fee cover? Is it covering the cost for police service? Because guess what? Landlords are paying property taxes, and they're paying taxes, they're paying every fee that a regular homeowner is on their homes as well. So basically, to me, you know what this seems like? And I say this a lot about these registration and inspection programs, right? They're cash grabs by the city. They're cash grabs by the bureaucracy. They want to extract money away from landlords so that they can put it towards whatever stupid use they think they need it for. Be that, hiring more bureaucrats to come down there and work or whatever, okay? But every time I see a program where they got all these fees and all these fines and all that, and, it doesn't actually improve the area because you have to ask yourself, okay, is the landlord not going to have a vacant property if they have to pay the fee? No, they're going to keep the property vacant. They're just going to pay the fee. And what about the bad landlords? Will this prevent them from, leaving their properties derelict? No, it won't do that either. In fact, the bad landlords won't register, won't care. They won't give a crap, okay? The bad landlords are less than 1% of all the landlords, but, they're bad for a reason. They don't care, okay? They don't care about the rules. They don't care about the regulations. They're going to do what they want. Okay, and that is why this and any sort of law like this isn't going to stop the problem. I think monitoring where our vacant properties are within the community is an important aspect to ensure they don't become a blight on the neighborhoods that they exist in, and it allows us to keep tabs on who has them and where they are, he said. Yeah, well, you're going to know exactly where they are. But like I said, it's not going to change anything. Those properties are still going to be in derelict. And my suggestion to you would be to, hey, encourage the landlords to reinvest in those properties and get them rented out. And there's better ways to do that than fining them and citing them, etc. Usually where the properties are in the worst shape is in the worst neighborhoods. So help make those neighborhoods better. And as a city, you can do that by keeping the crime low, okay? Making sure the roads are repaired and in good shape, okay? Making sure that the city-owned fields and everything are clean and clear and free of garbage. Do your job as a city. Make the neighborhood better by doing your job, and landlords will want to invest in those neighborhoods, and there won't be as many derelict properties, okay?